Hi guys, welcome back to GOO ROO Beauty. I wanted to share with you my thoughts on the Revlon Brow Fantasy pencils. They have just been launched out onto the Australian market after being available for years overseas. So what these products are a dual-ended brow product. We have a pencil on one end that does come with a plastic cap, and then on this side we have a mascara type spoolie wand with a tinted brow product. This is available in 3 shades here in Australia. I will of course include the pricing down below. These are the 3 shades and this is what they look like swatched on my hand. The top shade we have is dark blonde. We've got the pencil there, followed by a relatively light looking gel there. That dries to something sort of kind of clear, kind of a little bit flaky on my darker brows. Next shade down you can see is quite red tinged, and this is the shade Brunette, the pencil and then the gel. Brunette is my least favorite out of these 3 shades for my coloring. It's very, very red. It's everything that I hate about cheap brow products. You don't want your brows to look red. You want something more green toned, more grey toned. That's going to look most natural and least noticeable, that screams out to people, look, I've put pencil in my brows. The next shade down is probably my favourite out of the 3, and that one is called Dark Brown. The dark brown pencil of course here, and then the gel down below. And you can see, compared with the Brunette, it's just a lot more of a greyer shade. I've used a couple of shades on this side and the dark brown on this. I will cut now to showing you how they look going on. Starting in now with the dark blonde shade, I've sharpened it. You definitely want to make sure the tips are sharpened with these eyebrow crowns, and in very short strokes you just want to sort of draw in where there's gaps, or of course, you know, define the brow where you want the edges to be. Very short little strokes to imitate, you know, the actual hair of the eyebrow. I don't do the very inner corner. You can see that has just filled out the brow. I've got a little bit more definition here, a few less gaps and a little bit more of an even border to my brows on this side than I do on this side. It is firm, but it's quite waxy. You don't want to build up this product too much because it will build and clump in your brows, which is my least favorite part of using this product. So it's very important that you do use light strokes. I'm now going in with the shade dark brown now, and I'm just going to add a little bit of dimension, just adding in again very, very light strokes, so it's not just sort of one colour in the brows. I think it's particularly important to concentrate that darker colour on the outer edge rather than the inner half of the brow. Very, very light strokes, and that is pretty much where we'll leave it. Next thing I'm going to do is go in with the gel, and I much prefer the gel with the dark brown shade. It suits my brows a lot better and it's not red like the Brunette one in the middle. You can see I would really only recommend this one for redheads. You want to make sure that you do wipe off the product on the side of the container, and I start sort of just halfway because I don't want too much clumping on the inner half. So I'm shaping the brows. This is going to set the hairs as well as just brushing through and evening the pencil marks. Now the direction that I like my actual brow hairs to go, in the center I like to brush them up. That's why it's important to trim your hairs, and then as I go towards the middle and outer edge of the brow, then my strokes start going out. And you can see my brow on this side certainly looks a lot more groomed than this side. I just look a lot more sort of finished, I guess. It complements the eye a lot better. You can compare how that looks if we just use like the one shade on the other side. So this time I'll just use the dark brown on this side. So probably not a huge difference. I think that you can get away with a lighter brow if you sort of use the 2 products. I really like the dark blonde shade even on its own, but then I also do like the dark brown shade. The one piece of advice would be to completely avoid the shade in the middle. It's just way too red to look anything natural. A couple of things to point out to you. These can be kind of waxy, and you can kind of see on my swatches, but they can build up. I love that they're not so creamy that they go everywhere, but because of the waxiness, they can build up and clump if you go over and over and press too hard. So the secret to using these pencils effectively, I think, is keeping them sharp and then also making your strokes very, very light. Don't keep going over the same spot. Definitely make sure that you're not sweaty or dewy or wet faced when you put it on. Make sure that your face is dry. A powder wouldn't hurt before you pop on the pencil, just to make sure that it's really adhering where you're putting it on. Same thing with the gel. Scrape off the excess product and then very, very lightly brush the gel through your brows. It can clump, it can go everywhere if you're not careful. Of course, that wand is quite big, so a nice product if you use it properly. Little bit of practice. I love, of course, that this product is pretty much all you need in terms of applying your eyebrows. Great to chuck in your purse for touch-ups. I love that you've got a pencil on one end and the gel on the other. Really, really easy. What I don't like is the way that you can't really sharpen all of your pencil all the way down. So this isn't going to last you as long as a full-size eyebrow pencil. Of course, you know, it's like a half-size pencil already that you're paying a substantial amount of money for here in Australia, particularly with Revlon. And then, of course, when you go to sharpen, you can see I've got that much pencil left, but I'm pretty much near the end of where my sharpener will allow me to sharpen. So, you know, you will have a bit of excess pencil that you can't use because you can't get your sharpener up and over because of the packaging. Be careful with the gel. You want to choose the right color. If I use this dark blonde gel in my brows, I will see the gel. It can dry to something slightly kind of flaky. I don't like the look of it. So of all of these three, the only tinted gel that I like is the dark brown shade because it is kind of gray. It does blend with my brows. That's pretty nice. I do find that you may need to touch these up throughout the day, so handy that you can take it with you. The last thing about these that I want to make sure you're very, very aware of is the cap. This has serious limitations in transportability because the caps, for some reason, after you take them on and off for a bit, I think they get like micro cracks in them and they expand, which means that they don't stay on. The plastic caps on the pencil end of these products tend to want to fall off and get lost in your bag, and that means not very good things for the pencil. Now, because it's already a half-size pencil and you do have to really make sure that this is sharp in order for the product to not sort of clump and cake in areas, that can mean that your pencil is really not going to last a long time. If your cap comes off, the nub gets, you know, worn down just in your purse, making a mess, and you have to resharpen it again. So that's one thing, is that this product may not last as long as your other brow products that you're used to using. Overall, a very decent eyebrow product and certainly very handy with a dual ended if you can keep that cap on your pencil. Let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you if you have tried this product or what your favorite brow product is, particularly if you love a drugstore eyebrow product, because I have not found many drugstore eyebrow products that are satisfactory, but these ones are probably my pick of the bunch, I would say. I hope that you enjoyed this review. Let me know your thoughts. I love to hear from you. Have a beautiful day and we'll see you again really soon. Bye.